Hello everyone, WhitehouseFilms here, and I'm here to show you how to make your own trees for your model railway. Now these trees, I'm going to be making two trees for this tutorial, and if you wish to go for the methods which I'm using in this here, you're very welcome to do so, and I hope they work well on your model railway. So, the first tree that we're going to make is a poplar tree. For this you'll need a cocktail skewer, some dark green pipe cleaners, some brown crepe paper, glue, I'm using UHU glue, a mixture of PVA glue and water with a little bit of washing up liquid, some Woodland Snakes blended green turf, and finally some Javits light green turf. Okay, first of all, to make this tree we need to take off a wee bit of this skewer. Now I'm going to be taking off a good bit, I'd say probably roughly about, let's say this might be about 15 centimeters worth. Because I think it's, it might be 15, might be less than that, I don't know. Anyway, first of all you get your skewer, and then you get your pipe cleaner. I'll use probably two for this. There we go. Now next thing you do is that you bend the pipe cleaner in half, thus, get your snips. Snip them off, bend it again, and snip. Do the same for the other one. Now for this one here I'm going to make them a wee bit smaller, so I'm going to make this one a bit small. And then just keep this one in half. Okay, next you get your UHU glue. Then you just go around part of the trunk like so, just a little bit, and then you get your longer pipe cleaners, and you just basically you up and round like so. Glue might stick to you a wee bit though, but just ignore it. And basically just work your way up. Or what I find a bit easier is just take this one off for a minute to show you. If I do it in the middle, we get two branches on, like so. At this point it kind of looks a bit like a Christmas tree, if you see what I mean. But this will change in a few minutes. Now, some of these here aren't sticking there, so I'll just have to go over the UHU stick. Just go up and down the skewer like that. take your pipe cleaners, and they should stick. What you also should do is you should also, just bring up the camera, make sure that, you know, they're being divided in parts so that they're in a different position, so they don't all have to be in line with each other. Now, before I put on these other ones on here, I'll just move these about just a wee bit, just to separate them a wee bit more. Okay, next way you do is then is you just push them up. Like so. Now it may look a bit rough, but you can see where I'm getting at, if you know what I mean. So now, with U-hook again, you cover the rest of the skewer. Get your little clumps of pipe cleaners and stick them on. Try and cover up the tip as well, because you don't want to see, you don't want that to be seen. There we go. That's the first step. Now, next thing we need is to give this tree some bit of texture, a bit of foliage. So we're going to let that dry for a wee bit, and then we're going to start adding the leaves. So back in a few minutes. Okay, we're giving it a few minutes now to set. So next thing we do is to get some leaves onto this tree. So here we get our our PVA glue and water mix with a little bit of washing up liquid inside. And basically what you do is just dunk the tree. Just give it a wee dunk and just hold it just so that the glue drains out just a wee bit. Give it a wee shake. Of course, pipe cleaners, as they are, they can hold quite a lot of water, so just basically squeeze this glue out, but also make sure that there's still some on. Okay, that should do it. Now, let's put that aside for a minute. Now, the tree is now coated in the PVA glue mix. See here. And now comes the stage where we need to get his leaves. So first of all, you can use a bucket or so, but here I'm using a dustpan for this. Get your blended turf and woodland scenics. Get a small pinch of the skin material and just sprinkle it on. Rotate the tree just so you can get a good coverage. Starting from the bottom, work your way up to the top. Okay, that's good coverage there. Now just give a wee spin just to shake off any surplus. Now, there may be still a wee bit of PVA glue still sticking out that the foliage hasn't stuck on, so with this advantage we're going to add some highlights. This I'm using the Javis light scatter. I think this is the spring mix. So you just need a very, very small amount now, just a very, very small amount, and just give it a little, just a very little sprinkling. You don't need loads. It's only just a little light dusting. Ignore the plane there. Just a very, very light dusting. There we go. Not bad, eh? Of course, because I'm using the dustpan, I'm able to keep the remaining scan material and put it back into the package. There we go. Now, we're almost finished now with this poplar tree. And what we need now is to make the trunk. Now for this, we're going to use some crepe paper. So you'll need just a little rectangle, or just a little bit. Now this can get pretty messy now. I must warn you here in advance, because what I'm going to do next here with the crepe paper is going to result in the dye in it to stick to you. Now it is removable, just need to wash your hands afterwards, but it does get a bit messy at this stage, so just a word warning. Right, next we gotta bring back our PVA glue mix again. Get our crepe paper, and we just simply give it a little dunk. That's all. Just a very quick dunk. Now, whilst it's still wet, get the tree, go to where we're having the trunk. As you can see now, the dye is just starting to come off now in my hand. And then just make sure it's gripping the cocktail skewer, and just rotate around. Oop, tie it off a bit there. No matter. Use that as a second layer. Okay, get a grip. Come on. There you go. So you can see why the dye is starting to come off my hand. So you just rotate that around to get the trunk. Now there'll be a few bumps there, so just move it out of your hand. The paint and the glue will mix together and it can make a nice strong hold. And there you go. There's your poplar tree. Because I'm using the cocktail skewer with the spike, that way it makes it go into the baseball more easier, or into your landscape, wherever it is. So I'll put it inside this little container to dry, and you can see here I've made some more a few days ago. Not bad, eh? Using the same methods, and so probably would need to make about probably a couple more. But for you, it doesn't really matter. It's up to you. It's up to you how many poplar trees you want. So there you go. Very cheap way of making poplar trees for your model railway. Now, just get my hands a wash, and then we'll move on to the next tree. Okay, for the next tree that we're going to make, I'm not actually quite so sure what its real name is, but some people call these trees the bottle cleaner trees, because their appearance simulate those of a bottle cleaner brush. So, but this tree can be altered in ways if you want to make them into different sort of trees. So I've heard of somebody made one of these trees into a poplar tree and also one into a fir tree. So it depends on which way you want to go with them here. So to make one of these trees, and the one I'm going to see about trying to make this maybe as a hawthorn tree, is first of all what you need is some string. This is actually garden twine. Reasons why I've chosen this here will be explained in a wee minute. Some wire, need your snips. You also need one of these little rotary drills, or an electric drill can work, can do the same thing here. I'm going to be using one of these here because I'll be able to hand around it and I'll be able to stop if needed. Again, you also need your relentlessly explaining green turf, your water glue mixture, and of course your crepe paper. Also have with you on standby a bucket. I'll explain about that there. And also, you know, your dustpan if you're going to use it. Now, first of all now is you get your twine and you cut it up into little even strands. I think I should actually be having some better scissors than these, but these will do the job okay. Now I'm going to cut about probably about 10 of these, because I think this might be a wee big tree I think I might make. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway there. Six. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, that's it for the twine now. Just put that aside. So next thing we do now, we get our weak bits of twine, take this one for example, and then we unravel it, where you'll get 2 little bits, and you unravel those. So you get these little, like, fur, like little hairs. So just set them down in a row, thus. Now, these are going to be representing the branches on your tree. And you can see why I've chosen this twine, because its colour is a nice nature kind of colour. So this would save me time on painting the tree branches. So over like that there. Now this will be quite time consuming here, so if you want to you know, go away and have a cup of tea or make a cup of tea or something here, by the time you get back here I'll probably have these bits of twine done. Now this will be actually quite a good video to show what's his name, Mel from the Mel TheTerrainTutor, because I've been watching his videos on making trees and different types of natures and dioramas and all that there, and I find his methods very, very good for my model railway. In fact, in one of his videos I actually gave him a little tip on making trees, which was using the upholstery foam for the foliage. And he did a video demonstrating this here, and he also gave me a wee mention as well. So thank you very much, Mel, if you're listening, and I hope you find this video quite interesting too. So if you want to try this method here, you know, just forward a link or so onto this one here, and it'll saves you the time on making the video for you. Now, I actually found this method, doing this method, whilst watching an episode of Model World. In fact, this is the same method that was used on the program. If you don't know what Model World is, it's a program that was made in the 1970s for the BBC and was hosted by the late Bob Symes, who was a model railway pioneer, as we'd like to call him. And he modelled in double O gauge. I think he modelled in HO, I don't know. But he's also modelled in gauge 1 and 10 1/4. And he also had little 2 railways going around his garden, one 10 1/4, one gauge 1, which he holds open runs for to friends and members of the public. I think he does open it up to the members of the public, I don't know. Sadly, poor Bob is no longer with us, and what's going to happen to his railway and stuff, who knows? I really don't know. But whatever happens, I hope it goes to a really nice place, because so it you know, it deserves to be, you know, put in like some sort of a memorial type thing or something or other. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't used all the twines there, so that's basically about 7 or so I've unraveled there so far. So here we have a nice little strand which looks like a hamster's nest, which is what they also described in Model World. So the next thing you need is your wire. Get a nice wee length of it. Get your snips. And you bend the wire into a loop. Like thus. Now, I've learned this, and I find it very easy to tape up these bits at the end here, because when you put them into the drill or the hand drill, they won't necessarily stay fully in place. So doing it this way here will also, you know, will give it a bit more, give the drill holder a bit more grip to them. So I actually use this method for making up armatures for stop motion puppets. There you go. So that's what your thing will look like that. Now open up a wee bit of your little loop and get your little hamster's nest and just thread through thus. Now, once you've done that there, make sure that these are all evenly spread apart, and just close that up. Making sure there's just a wee small loop at the end. There we go, so you should have something like that. Next thing is to secure this loop onto a nail. So I have a nail here. It's off camera at the minute here, but what I could do is, yeah, this will do. Get this, this is just a wee screw, put it into my vise, and straighten it up a bit, get my hand drill, thread this a little bit in, being careful I don't knock out any bits of the twine, a little bit more. There we go. place. Do a final check on the twine. Some here that's come out of alignment. Yeah, that'll do for a bit. Put the loop over the nail with the screw. Like this. Right, this is going to be off camera now, so you won't be able to see what's. Maybe I can turn the camera up a bit. There we go. You should see the thing here. And what I'm doing now is I simply wind the drill. Just start very, very slowly. You can see here that as the wires begin to tighten, the twine starts to even out in parts. It starts to wrap around like branches. Right, just yeah, for a sec, because there's no filming because I need to hold on to this wood here. Let's keep going on. Let's probably do it. So take that out. It's a wee bit tangled now at the minute though, but trust me, it'll all work out in a minute. Okay, next you have to try and untangle this bit. It's a bit time consuming, but trust me that it'll be worth it in the end. So just need to tease out your bits of twine, and hopefully you should be able to get something of a tree out of this. Now this will take a bit of a while to get everything all sorted out, but some of these bits have all got tangled up in the wire. Now it doesn't have to be all perfect, you know, because not all trees are all like perfectly groomed. Some of these can be like pretty wild type trees, so maybe this one could be a bit of a wild one. So it's not really a hawthorn that I wanted, but I said, like, you know, it could be a bit of like a wild type tree. So just get my scissors here. I should actually mention these in the list there at the very start of the video, but you should have I'm sure you have a pair of scissors. Just to cut off any loose strands. And it's also here at the scissor stage here. This is where you can also shape the tree if you want to make it look like a poplar or a fir tree. So if you want to make this into like a poplar tree, all you have to do is just go just something like that in some ways, like that. Or for a fir tree, just do the opposite way. Something like that, you know. But this one here is just going to be just a wee rough tree. A wee strand at the top that I might just take off. A bit of wire at the top. Ah, that's it. That's better. Okay, so now we've got that sorted out. And now it's time to give this tree its leaves. So, we bring on our PVA glue mix again. So I just turn that camera back there. And simply we just, again, as before with the poplar tree, we just dunk it in. Ugh, there you go. Look at that mess. Okay, let that dry off. Let the glue dry away for a minute. Put that to one side. Now remember that bucket I mentioned earlier on? This is what we need it for. So, get your bucket, get your tree, and simply spin it. This will spin off all the glue. Well, not all the glue, but now it looks a bit rough at the minute. Now it looks like it looks a bit like your hair on a Monday morning, doesn't it? Ugh. Oh, rubbish and all that there. But anyway, just flick it up a wee bit there. Now, there's still some more glue. There's still glue left on this here, so it's a bit sticky now in a minute. So next thing we do, get a dustpan again. Put that glue to one side. Get up a blend of green turf, and now just simply get a wee sprinkle. Rotate the tree and start applying this block. Now already, just as I'm applying this here, the tree is literally coming to life. So I'll just get the bucket here to spin off a wee bit extra of the scatter. That's a very wild looking tree now, doesn't it? It's got like, it looks like it's had a whole batch load of ivy and all growing over it. Look at that, that's fantastic. Okay, we're nearly finished now. Just put that to one side. Remove the phone, put it back into the box, into the bag. Go. So any last minute trimming that you want done, just do it now. There, yeah, that looks good. Okay, and lastly we need to put the trunk on. So some more crepe paper. This one I had a wee bit. I cut this wee bit earlier on, and just dunk a wee bit of it in. Give it a wee dunk. I find it easy to dunk one end of the poplar paper because the glue will seep through it and will cling on to the rest of it. So just wind it around. Whoops, a couple loose there. So just wind it around, and hopefully it should stick to the rest of it there. Just do that with your fingers there, just to make sure it sticks in place. And there you go. It's not really the best of the trees that I could do. You know, it's not really what you call a bottle cleaner tree, as I mentioned at the start, but you know, as I said, not all trees are perfectly groomed, not all perfectly shaped. They grow in different ways. So it's really up to you what way you want your trees to look like. So I'll just put that in with the block of stuff. You can see here earlier on, this is one I made earlier, using the same methods that I just showed you before. Doesn't it look great? And there you go. I've showed you guys how to make two types of trees. I hope you guys find this tutorial very useful, and if you have any ideas you'd like to share, feel free to drop them in the comments and let me know. Okay guys, thank you very much for tuning in. WhitehouseFilms, signing out. Goodbye.